Alright, I'm recording this for the third time. I recorded it once and I pressed end and it just said recording started, which is amazing. And the first time I did it, basically a Chrome extension installed and took over the screen and whatever, it just annoyed me. Anyway, I'll get to this. I guess I had some practice, so hopefully this one goes way smoother than the first videos and whatever. Yeah, let's get on with it. So I've done my uh, rune cheat sheet. So I'd done this originally in the summer. Read all of this on the page if you want to. Just sort of disclaimers, some things, sort of how certain runes work and the uses of alternative runes and so on. So do give it a read. But I'd done it initially in the summer, and then in August they made the changes. The runes were all redone, and therefore I just didn't have any idea on what did what. And it took me some time to figure it out. I can't test every single character because it is a gacha game, so I can't get every single one. But I've spoken to people. I know roughly, what everything does, and I thought I'll get this out here now. And then if I change anything in the future, something turns out to be considerably better, then I will update it. But for 95% of cases, these should be the runes you should be using. All the alternatives, all of those are good options. Anyway, so starting off here, I will include this in the description, so you're welcome to go ahead and take a look at that yourself. Read through all of this. I've basically done very rough descriptions of what the rune is for, where you can use it, so on and so forth. And in this, I'm not going to include red runes. I will say this now. So if you're whaling, there's only a small portion of you getting a crazy amount of these. So if you're going to get them, just give them a read. Usually something like the raid rune can be used on any attack damage dealers. Something like curse rune will be used on your tanks, and it's up to you, sort of what you choose. But do read these. They're generally quite easy, and I obviously have some descriptions to say what you can use them. So, yeah. So I'm going to start here with mages. And I'll actually say before as well, so this part here is not fully squished together, so it looks a bit weird, so excuse me for that. But start with mages. So you'll see a common thing here is the blue runes are really good. I've sent messages to see if they would potentially buff the legendary runes, not nerf the blues, but buff the legendaries to provide more of a reason to go for them, as the blues are so good. But I'll say the blues are great, and you get them from the abyss quite often, so you're going to have a crap ton of them. So use them, they are powerful. The blue combo, which I've made a video about before, is great. The enchantment rune, the energy gathering rune, both amazing. On anything that does damage, you're good, right? So with mages, we have deceit and energy gathering, and that's pretty much across the board apart from Milton. Milton obviously provides a burn, so therefore more damage when he burns is great. And we've got a visitor. Anyway, so burn, providing a burn, whatever, is great. Doing more damage to burn targets is amazing. Great in Abyss. And generally, though, you're running Deceit for more energy. As soon as they cast again, and you get Energy Gathering to just give them more attack damage as they go. The Energy Gathering is a very cheap rune. Same goes for Enchantment runes, so use them both if you have no idea what else you have. You can run Harvest and Exhaust, which are both fine runes as well. These are more in the alternatives, and like I said, take a look here in this part, in this page here, to take a look at exactly what they do and how they would really go. But it's just generally killing rune buff stuff is not great, like having to kill a unit to get a power up. But Harvest does alright. It's energy on kill, so you can use the rune. But if you combine that with a kill with Deceit, it's fine. So yeah, this is pretty much covering exactly what you can use on your mages. It's a very simple combo: energy and extra damage. Rangers, rather similar to the mages. The blue combo is still really, really good. So you have your enchantment and energy gathering, and I added ethereal rune here for using multiple rangers as a thing of saying if you have 3 rangers in a comp, 1 assassin, 3 rangers, 1 tank, 1 healer, 3 rangers, 1 tank, as long as you can hit that 3 ranger mark, it's a really good rune to use. I'd use it alongside Energy Gathering for majority of the units. I wouldn't use Repulse and Berserker really in Campaign and Guild War. Not really recommended, but you can use it in Abyss, and it does really, really well in Abyss. So that would work on majority of the rangers, apart from probably Celia to buff their damage. Is just a really nice boost. But I would primarily use it on someone like Rennie. You can use it, for example, on Liv. It'll actually buff her damage quite a bit if you use the rune combo. It may just be the power from the runes that gives it the big, big boost, but It works. They do a lot. So you're running enchantment and energy gathering, the blue combo, easy to get, like I said. Ethereal if you run multiple rangers. And again, you can use the red runes, but you have to have them and just give them a brief read. Nothing is different with the rangers. It's basically the blue combo, and that's been working for me fine for a very long time. Alright, I've been speaking for so long, I need some water. Basically recorded the whole video and had to do it again. Alright, so priests. Priests are pretty much deceit and salvation for the big healing ones. So Olivia, Flora, Margaret run salvation and deceit. I think is probably the best combination. More energy and improved healing. For Suvir, I would actually run deceit and energy gathering. I think she does a good bit of damage and therefore it works well. And deceit is just extra energy, so it's probably the best combo you can have. And for Grigor as well as Waga, they're not big healers, so you do want them to cast their skill more to provide, the bonus, like the energy or whatever stats they give. And then Explosion Rune just works well to remove debuffs, so it's good. That's pretty much the combo. You don't need salvation because they're not healing. You don't need energy gathering because you don't do damage. So you just run the next best thing. There's not too many options. You can also run the 3 death combo, whatever, of inspiring, blessing, and exhaust. They're okay. You can run it on them. Just make sure that you position it in a way where the tank's death is followed by the priest's death. You don't want them to die last because then it's pointless, right? And the Humane Rune, I generally wouldn't run it. Most comps won't have 3 priests, so keep that in mind. Very rarely you'll see it, but if at that point you're building 1 assassin, 4 priest, you're probably aware of what runes do. So it's pretty much not going to happen until like late game when you have all the runes available, all the units available, and can start messing around with 1 single carry with 4 support comps, for example. Right. Assassins, again, very similar to Rangers. You're running Enchantment Rune and Energy Gathering. I will say that for a portion of them, you can run Deceit. That works just as well. Ramil and Terrans get their shield more. God can go invisible and drop aggro more. It works well as well. So if you get Deceit, you can use it instead of, for example, Enchantment Rune. But you're free to run the blue combo. For Salvation, you can use it for the heal that Terrence and Ramil get. That also works well. For Barley and Sota, you can run the Repulse Berserker combo. That works really well as well, but mostly in the Abyss. They will do a lot of damage as long as you have a healer that keeps them alive. So that will up their damage from their normal damage. But keep in mind, for example, Sora won't be able to stun anymore with this combo, so it's not only viable really in the Abyss, very rarely anywhere else. And for Bella and Beelzebub will run the Ember Rune. That will give him more damage whenever he burns them with his ability. And then Deceit just generally works on most units because a lot of units, their skills are important. So Deceit, you're just going to see that on any unit. So if you get Deceit, feel free to use it. It's great. Deceit is a really good rune, and there's not too many options out there. When you start thinking about good runes and bad runes, you start really cutting them out to a very limited pool. Because Dementing, for example, is a horrible rune. It's a little bit of attack damage every time you get a kill. I believe it's bad. So really bad rune. Therefore, that really reduces the variety that you can use on certain champions. And again, this rune here, the assassin one for having multiple assassins, is the same as Rangers. If you're going to run 3 assassins, which is going to be very uncommon, you can use it, but otherwise I wouldn't, right? If you're using 1 or 2, if you're using 2, it's okay. If you're using 1, it's trash. So keep that in mind. Don't waste power because you can get more from just energy gathering 1 skill. And as you know, obviously, energy gathering probably works better on Terrence and Ramil and Gar because they'll last longer, or Barley. Anyone that can last longer, they're better. But I was going to actually say, for Beelzebub, keep in mind that with the Ember Rune, you're going to need to survive long enough. So, you need also higher crit rate to apply stuff. So, as long as you get a certain amount of crit, this probably would be better than, for example, the Enchantment Rune. But it's going to be hard and it takes a lot of commitment. And lastly, Warriors. This is the scuffed looking page, but it's probably the easiest one for me. So the Asylum and Defending Rune are just both a great combo. You basically just get a shield and you also get extra defenses. It works well, so I would run that on majority of actually all of the tanks. Just run that on all of the tanks. But you can also use the Death Rune, so the Blessing, Inspiring, and Exhaust for the same reason as you would use them on the priests or the mages. Just have them die and then they'll give a boost. So you're welcome to use these. If you don't have these, well, you can get them, I think, from blue. You get Asylum at least from blue. So you can run Asylum then. If you're looking at defending, I think as well, it comes at blue rarity, so you can get them rather quickly. But if you're taking a while or you can't find a good one, or you just don't like what it gives you at that point, you can just run these. These will work well for you as well. You may get yourself a random blessing rune from your guaranteed legendary rune from the summoning event. So not the summoning event, but the starting summoning 150 5-star thing. You may get blessing, and you can see where to roughly use it. And again, I'll say right at the end here that the upper hand and raid rune, just slap him in if you have them. But they're I'm not going to talk about them. It's such a small amount of people that are actually going to have them. It's pointless. If you really want me to look at them in more detail, then do let me know in the comments. But I'm going to slap this link to this in the description. Take a look at yourself. Give me any comments, any combos that you found that better than what I've given. Sometimes people think that something's better, but it's just the same. Sort of approaching a different thing. Some people might be like, yeah, run Inspiring and Blessing Rune instead of Asylum and Defending. Lionel, you can argue to run something that's healing related, which I'm gonna add that in next. But the healing rune for Ram and Terrence that I spoke about, Salvation, you can use that on Lionel. That works as well. Same as Katarina, you can run it on them too. I didn't add it here as the viable runes because I just want my tanks to be tankier, but those are options too, and you can sort of see that if they heal for anything. Although Katarina, I'm not sure because I think it's a set percentage, so I don't know if the amount will go up. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Take a look in the description for the link to this. You can actually go ahead and look at it, see what it is. Maybe, then let me know after in the description, not description, the comments, what you believe, was right, wrong, maybe different ideas, anything more you want me to elaborate on. But I'm going to leave it here. This is, like I said, this is the third time I'm recording this. I'm really hoping it works. If the video that actually comes out, I'm so exasperated, is fourth recording, and I'm probably really unhappy. Anyway, take care. Thank you. Bye bye.